Great.
हाँ,
So yeah,
बताता
I
हूँ.
think my journey started with Flipkart. That was a couple of years after I finished my undergrad at IIT. And at Flipkart, I spent close to 6.5 years trying to build new businesses and figure out new markets for expansion. When I joined Flipkart, it was just a bookseller. Of course, had built a lot of e-commerce technologies, and the opportunity was ripe to build more categories. So
Mhm.
spent about 6.5 years there building categories, and then when I decided to move on, uh, even Mukesh was moving on. Mukesh had been at Flipkart for 2.5 years after the Myntra merger, and we realized that there's an opportunity to do something really big in the healthcare space. Healthcare
Hmm.
space, is a very fragmented market, multiple categories, but all of them very small, very unbranded in nature.
Hmm.
And we realized that there's a huge opportunity to create a multi-category platform there. So that's
Hmm.
how we did it.
Hmm. Multi-category platform. That's a very interesting way of looking at things. I think Healthify, Me, and Cult are the only two things doing that right now. So why did you find this very interesting? मतलब ये चमका कैसे?
I think if you look at the overall, health space, or from a consumer point of view, to stay healthy, you really need to do multiple things. You need to stay, fit mentally and physically. You need to eat healthy. You need to sleep well. You need to, do your health checkup every year and do follow-ups. So it is extremely difficult to stay healthy, and uh, technology can definitely make it easier. And if you want to stay healthy, it has to be multiple category. Otherwise, you just end up becoming a gym or a health food parlor or something like that. So
Hmm.
we realize that the real value in the long term, of course, is very, very early days for us right now. But the
Hmm.
real value in the long term will lie if we can own the end-to-end journey, where a
Hmm.
customer decides to stay healthy, and then she can really figure out the entire journey
Hmm.
over the few years, few quarters across the board. So that's why multi-category is important. And while building a multi-category platform, trying to make it easy is also very important. So we've tried to create products which are easy to consume, which are for starters, for people who are not health experts, and that's how we embarked on the journey.
And you chose to start with something like Cult. You could have started with something like Carefit as well.
Yeah.
Uh, hmm. क्यों
Yeah,
था
I
मतलब?
think I think the reason is very clear. If you look at the most consumerized product in healthcare right now, something which
Hmm.
is very consumer focused, which is a very casual product, gyms is that category.
Hmm.
Because clinics and hospitals are very need based. People will do that when they have an acute need. Of course, healthcare and primary healthcare and secondary healthcare market is the largest. But fitness centers is something which is the most consumerized product, more lifestyle product, and something which is an easy start. If you start doing a few classes every month, you
Hmm.
will start your journey. And then of course food is as important, and the real problem in the country is that they don't have a very good supply of health food. You can't figure out what can qualify as healthy food,
Hmm.
and that's where I think food becomes extremely important as well. So these are the two categories where we've got massive scale. And of course, on top of that, uh, we are building many, many more verticals, which will built around food and fitness.
Hmm. So now you mentioned Cult and Eat both. Cult has been amazing in sense of how quickly मतलब people love it. मतलब ऐसे why to sugarcoat and then downplay it. You've built a community around it. Word of mouth insane है. वो kickstart कैसे किया और वो maintain कैसे करते हो?
See, I think if you build any product, you need to start building. You start by just creating a very small community. And at a company, we follow a very strong philosophy around 1,000 true fans. We feel that for any product to become successful, you need to get to 1,000 true fans. And true fans definition is people who are super duper users who would kill to use that product, who would be your proponents, etc.,
Hmm.
etc. So that's exactly what we do. Whenever we open a cult center in a locality or a couple of cult centers, we aim to get to 1,000 true fans in that locality.
Hmm.
So when we launched our business, we took HSR, Sarjapur, and Bangalore as a market and said
Hmm.
that if we get to 1,000 true fans there, then we'll expand to Indranagar, and then we'll expand to Kormangla. So how we continue doing it is that because every time we open a new locality, we think of it as a new startup, and we say that अगर वहाँ पे 1,000 लोग नहीं will not become crazy about the product, then there is no point. And that's a very strong thesis that we follow, and that has helped us reinvent the product uh, every few quarters. That has helped us maintain the quality when we launch new cities, new markets. So that is the biggest philosophy that we follow.
So ये मतलब 1,000 true fans is a thesis जो मतलब works at like 1,000 feet level.
Yes.
When you said you iterate over this every few quarters, how does this each iteration look like? So I remember you had a very early center in Sarjapur 2016-17 times. And my batchmate from college was like, "Arey, nahi, you should move to Sarjapur so that you can do cult."
Yeah.
So how, and that was very early in the cycle itself. So I'm assuming
Yes.
that now that this is probably like iteration 20 or something like that,
Yeah.
what have these iterations looked like?
See, I think the first important step we decided in 2016 was that the biggest problem that lies with the gyms is twofold. One, there is very little technology at the back end to manage the processes, and second, there is zero technology consumer facing. If you would go to even the top gyms in the US, Orange Theory, Barry's Bootcamp, very good products, but consumer journey is very weak. Consumers don't know how many classes. It's almost just like a booking engine. It's nothing that of a journey tracker. So we realized that we need to build a journey product where customers know how many classes they have done, they feel like doing more classes, they see progression, and they see other ancillary products getting tied up to it. So that's exactly what we have done. We have tried to create a product which is, a journey-based product and a lot of technology. And if you are on a journey-based product, people have done 100 classes in last 1 year. To get them to do another 100 classes this year, you need to upgrade the product. And that's exactly what the philosophy is. You have to launch new formats. You have to launch new reasons for people to get excited. We're looking at hardware integration with the heartbeat, heart rate monitor in every class. We're looking to integrate a lot of technology through screens in the center. So I think the idea is to continuously evolve into a product which consumers are excited about. So a very core value for us is blowing away customer expectations. But the tough part about customer expectation is that whatever was wow yesterday becomes table stakes today. So you have to continuously manage that every single day. So I think if you don't launch a new product every few quarters, which also get 1,000 true fans really, then you will not continuously evolve. So every version of cult has to have 1,000 true fans, and not just the fact that at one point in time every center had that.
So what you are saying is it's not just 1,000 true fans, it's also novelty and pace, the pace of novelty
Yes.
itself.
Yes.
ओके मतलब ये चीज तो बहुत सारा इंजीनियर्स को भी नहीं समझता है which is true मतलब engineering is supposed to be around novelty and making new things. So you mentioned second thing which you mentioned was eat fit. Eat fit ka menu has been very desi in the sense roti sabji, rice balls, and you have not done
Yes.
any of the fancy quinoa things. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry.
Quinoa salads.
quinoa salads. Thank you.
Yeah.
तो वैसा मतलब एकदम आउट ऑफ बजट चीज नहीं किया है कुछ. तो हाउ डू दीज ऑपरेशनल डिसीजंस गेट मेड कि अच्छा ये करना है या नहीं करना है?
I think everything starts and ends with the consumer insight. So then the interesting thing about food is something which people will not change their habit at all. It is the most intrinsic habit for a particular customer. If you look at how Indian palates work, there is a carb, there's a curry, there's a protein. These are the three things: dal roti paneer, dal roti chicken, yeah, chicken biryani, yeah, dosa. All of these are very standard thali format. You need multiple variants. Indians are not used to, a lot of single bowl salads, meals, etc. But if you also look at what our customers end up eating, if our target audience is urban working people right now, they end up eating a lot of this food through cafeterias, through ordering in, through fancy restaurants, etc. The problem is that none of these are extremely healthy or extremely hygienic. So we said that if someone is going to cult, all they need is a very basic healthy food, which is calorie counted, and the format has to be rice, roti, sabzi, dal. Because that's what people eat 80% times. Pizza, burger, ko healthy banana is not the best idea, because anyways, if people are eating pizzas and burgers once a week, let them cheat. Why do they need a healthy pizza? Or why do they need a brown bread burger or something like that, right? So it's better to just let them cheat. But when they're eating 80% of their meals, it should be basic, healthy, hygienic, and calorie counted. Getting millions of people to change their daily habits is extremely tough, but
Mm.
giving them the slightly better version will work. And that's exactly the thesis that worked for us. We see the maximum demand during lunchtime from corporates, which
Mm.
clearly shows that people are looking for healthier option than what they get at cafeterias and corporate catering. So I think that's the core insight. And about 50% of our customers end up using our Eat Fit menu very, very aggressively.
Okay. And you, how does this tracking flow back to how your decisions are made? Matlab, every class you take an NPS score, how awesome it was or not. I remember early on 2019 type, I had marked one class was bad because I had an injury in that class. And I got a call back from Cult saying, ki, kya hua, sir, sab badhiya hai na? So how do these processes, things, how are these built? NPS tracking वगैरह कैसे करते हो?
Right. So if I look at the entire org, I think the entire org's sorry, the focus. Even if you look at the entire org's focus, it is completely in the direction of making insanely great products and blowing away customer expectations. Those are our core values. And one very interesting thing, because of technology integration at gyms and food, is that we have a 4-point scale. After every interaction, you get a 4-point scale on rating the product on and the experience. And anything which goes below 4, which is 3, 2, and 1, we start analyzing it. And the interesting thing is it's so real time that if there's a class in Bombay where the speakers were not working, we'll start getting feedback like within 30 seconds of class getting over. And then we'll know that something went wrong, and we'll make sure that the speakers are fixed even before the next class starts. So of course it's very Uber like approach where they rate their rides, etc. Customers rate their rides. For us it's extremely real time, because customers immediately open the app again after the class to book their next class. They open the app to book their next meal. Because of the daily transaction, multiple times a day daily transaction nature, we get very real time feedback. So that goes back into all processes, all the new product development, all the performance management, incentives, etc. Is all tied back to the 4-point scale. So I think the biggest thing that keeps us together as a company is the 4 points rating scale. It is the biggest top of the mind metric. And ask anyone, any trainer, what the rating was for the last 3 days, they will know. Ask any chef what was the rating for the kitchen last 3 days, they would know. So I think this is a very important thing which has created the entire journey around ratings and reviews.
So that is the North Star metric in a manner of speaking.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now that you've spoken about trainers and chefs, how do you hire people? How do you, and you've also acquired businesses like TFX and Tribe. How are these integrated?
Right. So we have two sets of teams that we hire. One is the sales, marketing, growth, technology side of the world, and second is the teams which are on the ground, running the centers, running the kitchens, making the food, doing the classes. So for the first bucket, we have focus on campus recruitment, and also from technology companies, e-commerce companies, etc. So there we have a very good mix of experience and very young folks with technology product marketing background. It's mostly inbound people. We put out openings on LinkedIn and networks like these, and it's inbound, and we have a simulation process where we meet the candidates a few times, look at the passion for fitness, sports, and health. I think it's super important to have that passion to work for CureFit, because it is a very difficult space, and if you're yourself not a consumer of these products, then it will be difficult to create these products. On the city teams and the operations team which I mentioned, there we have boot camps, campus hiring, walk-in drives, where we figure out who we need to hire. And the most interesting aspect there is that after we hire these people, there is a 1-month training program. So we have training academy set up in Bangalore and NCR. It's a full classroom program, and anyone who hits the shop floor or the centers or anything, they have to go through a 3 to 4 week dedicated training. They have to clear their tests, and that helps us maintain quality.
Okay, that's on ground. जो आपने बोला ops teams. What do you look for when you hire in those? मतलब There's not
I
just.
think I think we look for some basic intrinsics, of course, and these
Hmm,
intrinsics are very important because we need to know how well do they know the technology product, how well do they understand their coaching part, how well do they understand the food part. So some understanding of technology, but very deep understanding of food or fitness in respective areas,
hmm,
and then we figure out how well will they able to transform their learning to the cure fit way of doing things. We have a
hmm,
particular philosophy for food, we have a particular philosophy for doing fitness training. So
hmm,
I think openness to learning, overall knowledge base of health and fitness and food,
hmm.
and lastly, how well can they adapt to technology. I think these are the three important parts.
Awesome. And how do you maintain and retain these folk, both sides, both teams? Matlab?
I think we've realized that the biggest way of retaining people is to continuously show them success, and continuously showing success means really everyone making impact. So we are a very heavy OKR driven company. Like most of the work gets done through objectives and key results framework,
Mhm,
and we try and make sure that most people are seeing tangible progress in their journey. So I think that is one biggest engagement area. Second is we actually have a very strong culture of sports and fitness, and most of our engagement activities are actually built around that. I think that has
hmm,
helped us build a pretty massive health and fitness culture and the camaraderie around it. So I think overall we feel that the whole health and fitness culture, which
hmm,
all the engagement activities, all the traditions of the company are built around that.
hmm,
And lastly, the continuous success metric, which is success under the belt, OKRs,
hmm,
are I think a very good way of making sure that people understand that they're making progress. If they look back 6 months in time, they know exactly what they've achieved and what could they have done better for
hmm.
the next 6 months.
Okay, that's interesting. So, how frequently are these OKRs measured? Is it like 6 months,
It's a
yearly?
quarterly process, Nirant. So everyone has a 12-month goal and a quarterly milestone. So that's how it's done.
Okay, got it. Uh, let's talk about you personally, thoda sa, and
Yeah.
how you think. Pehle to, which is your favorite innings of Sachin?
Yeah, so interestingly, yesterday was Sachin's birthday, and I had put that tweet out also.
हाँ
I
इसीलिए
did
पूछ
a
रहा हूँ.
whole. So my favorite inning is that he scored a 175 against Australia in Hyderabad. It was a one-day international. India
हाँ.
was chasing 350, and we got to 347.
Hmm.
When he got out, we needed 20 runs of 20 balls or something like that.
हाँ.
And there's been a lot of chatter about whether he's a good finisher or not. But if someone takes you so far and
हाँ.
still India does not, and there have been many occasions in 90s and 2000s where this happened,
हाँ.
where he would take the team to like last 10 runs, last 15 runs, and still not finish. The difference now is that India has solid finishers. If
हाँ.
someone would even leave the team at 50 runs from 30 balls, we'll know we'll win.
हाँ.
But that was a crazy innings, like scoring 175 out of the 347, and the amount of fours and sixes across the ground. I think it was one of his best innings.
ये कौन सी ईयर का मैच है मतलब I just don't recall.
2009 November.
Okay, I'll definitely go and take a look at that.
Yes.
Uh, what does your ideal day look like?
So non lockdown days, I would say starts very early. If I would talk until March, I start my day at 5:30 to 6, anywhere between that.
Hmm.
Start my day with a workout, and then the morning, couple of morning rituals. Just spending time reading and all of that. Some newspaper news. Would reach office by 10:30. Spend the day meetings, some personal work time, thinking time. By 7:30 would get back home, spend time with my son. I have a 4.5-year-old son,
Oh, what's his
son
name?
Ian.
Sorry,
And
Ihan.
Ian,
Yan.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And then I retire to the bed by 10:30. So, and weekends I play cricket. We have a Crawford cricket team and also play for one more other team. So
Hmm.
play cricket and yeah, spend time playing cricket and spending time with friends over the weekend. So
Hmm.
I have a very mundane routine, but I
Hmm.
follow it very religiously. In the current times, I think the day starts a little late. Get up
Hmm.
by 7:30, 8.
Hmm.
On weekends, and probably 7:30 during weekdays.
Hmm.
So that's how it is, and also retire to bed. So everything is got phase shifted by a couple of hours. So that's how it is.
That's it. What do you read in the morning? You mentioned you spend about 4 hours in your morning rituals. What do you read typically?
I think I spend 2 hours during the non-lockdown days. 1 hour of commute is also accounted for, of course. But of course, I don't read a lot of news. I spend time reading news digitally. But I have some blogs and I have some long form articles which I follow. So
जैसे
I
कि
think yeah, I think Ken is an interesting article to read every morning these days. Spends about 15-20 minutes.
Hmm.
I spend time reading TechCrunch and inc.com. So
Hmm.
these are some of the websites. So I prefer reading long form articles as opposed to news.
Hmm.
And other favorite news website is Mint. So I spend at least reading one or two articles. Again, not news but editorials. That
Editorials. हाँ,
are
Mint
interesting.
का तो ed, हाँ. You mentioned Thousand True Fans and that thesis. What genre? What do you? Which author or thinker do you follow in that business strategy genre?
Interesting. I think if I have to think about the last few books which I really liked, interesting question. Let me check my collection and tell you what was the last interesting. Yeah, so of course, see both the Sapiens and Homo Deus. I think Sapiens and
Hmm.
Deus was very interesting. Take at how things are.
Hmm.
I also I read a lot, so I start a lot of books and then finish them quickly. I don't find a lot of authors very inspiring,
Hmm.
but of course there are some books which I really really like. I think I've mentioned it in earlier also in a couple of chats. My favorite go-to book, which I read a lot of time is the Experiments of Truth, My Experiments with Truth by Mahatma Gandhi. I think it is a guide to most things in life. And from business point of view, I think I don't get heavily inspired by any book. I read a lot of books,
Hmm.
but I don't get extremely inspired by one book or the other. I think Blitzscaling was the last book which I really liked.
Hmm.
Reid Hoffman. I think that was one book which I really thought was very, very well written.
Which is a book which you have gifted to your team?
I uh, when we started off Kyofit, we asked people. At that time, my favorite was Industries of the New World or something like that. That's what it's called. Let me just quickly. Uh, Industries of the Future. That is the book, and
Hmm.
that I was gifting heavily, not only to our colleagues, but also to friends and family. It was a
Hmm.
really good take of how the world is going to be in future. And the second book recently I've been gifting people is Mukesh's book, No Limits.
No
I
limits.
think it's very well
Actually, I
written.
have it
And, yeah,
somewhere. I have it on my desk. I'm reading it now.
nice, nice. So I think that's a book which I've been gifting to a bunch of people of late.
Hmm. Okay. What part of CureFit reflects you? कि मतलब ये like this looks like what I would do. This is my favorite bit.
Eat Fit. I spend a lot of time on the Eat Fit business. I'm a massive foodie. I think one thing that defines me really well is food. I'm a big, big, big foodie.
Hmm.
I also like to cook a bit. So I think
Ah.
Eat Fit is a perfect place for
What
me in Cure.
what do you cook which your son loves?
I think a bunch of smoothies that I make, he's a huge fan of them.
Ah, nice. Which is his favorite smoothie?
I think oatmeal chocolate smoothie.
Oatmeal chocolate. Nice. Uh, what is your personal moat career में life में? You mentioned experiments
I
of
think hard work. I think I believe that hard work trumps everything else. So
हाँ.
I always have believed that if you're in the top 10 percentile of the hard work, cohort, then
Mhm.
you'll do it. So I try to do that. Of course, I see that most people have realized that hard work is the moat and that competition is fierce. I
Hmm.
think I know a lot of people who also feel that long-term thinking and just thoughtfulness is a big moat.
Hmm.
For me, I think hard work works the best.
What do you do? मतलब किसी दिन उठ के ऐसा होता है कि मन नहीं किया आज नहीं करते हैं वर्कआउट आज छोड़ देते हैं. What do you
वो
do on
नहीं
those
करता
days?
मैं क्योंकि I have a terrible day if I don't work out. Like I think workout is a big. I think it keeps me sane. Not
अच्छा.
working out is very very. I'll have a terrible day otherwise.
Got it. How do you recover from a bad day? मतलब work wise or otherwise?
I think recovering from bad days is sleeping early.
Sleeping early. Get a lot of rest.
Yes.
Hmm. Uh, ठीक है. I think उसके बाद अभी कोविड वाले क्वेश्चन शुरू हो जाते हैं कि लाइव वाला जो फॉर्मेट है कैसा चल रहा है.
Yes. Right. So I think live was a very interesting way of dealing with the COVID situation. We always had the framework and the infrastructure to run these live classes.
Yes.
It is one of those projects which we were running as a long-term bet, thinking कि 2021 में करेंगे. And we had started building, putting the building blocks. March first week is when we realized that there could be an imminent shutdown happening. And in 2 weeks we fast forwarded and did whatever we could have done in the next 6 months. The entire company's energies were put into that, and thankfully it's working well. We'll hit 1 million DAUs on our digital products soon, and I think it is a very interesting way of working out. We're getting customers from tier 3, tier 4 cities, which would have never imagined with the Cult offline product.
Fantastic. Do you think there's a risk that it will cannibalize your revenue with the?
No, I don't think
format?
so. I think people will start thinking that it is the same. Sometimes they'll go to the center, sometimes they'll work out from. So it'll be all one big bucket of working out.
So this is just another category in your
Yes.
1,000 true fans thing.
Yes.
Nice. That's actually very. I'll have to think a little bit more about that before asking more questions. How do you price your cult subscription?
I think I price my. So basically, if I look at all the pricing tools that we've done, we have always decided to be unit economics positive, Nirant. We want to build a business where we don't burn money by scaling business every single day, and that's the kind of business where when you start scaling, you have to have this constant need of raising money. You are almost like running on a treadmill which can't stop. So we price our products with a premium on manpower time, branding, and technology costs. So these are the three things which are the cogs, and of course rentals in the case of Cult, and the food product, the food itself. So 4 products. So technology, manpower is one bucket, branding is second, third is the actual costs, and fourth is the branding. So across all of these 4 buckets, we have a fixed cost, which we understand, and the variable cost, and we want to charge a 25% premium on top of that. Cult is a good product from a profit. It is unit economics positive in a massive way. EatFit has been unit economics positive, but thinner margins because of the food delivery business. But our constant endeavor has been to build a profitable business, and hopefully next couple of years we should be profitable at the company level.
CareFit is unit economic positive?
CareFit, couple of centers are now out of the 8 centers because it's a new business. It takes 6 to 12 months to hit profitability.
Okay, so you're saying 6 to 12 months is profitability, not just break even.
Product level profitability. Then there are central overheads of the company, etc. Yeah.
Okay. Parting question.
Yes.
What should somebody do so that you would be interested in sharing your time, teaching about how to think and how you think?
I think if it's a two-way conversation where I get to learn something from the person, I am most happy to have these conversations. I do have some set of people whom I meet once in 5-6 weeks, just to exchange notes. And if I feel that I've learned a thing or two, which you almost always end up doing if you're meeting someone. So if it's a conversation where you learn something about the world, then it's a good conversation.
Nice. Could you give a little bit of context on what backgrounds or professions these people come from? Are they similarly entrepreneurial or?
I think 3-4 different backgrounds. One, I definitely meet a ex-colleague from Flipkart who is running a technology startup. I think I get to learn a lot when I meet that person. Then second, I think just a friend who is into retail business, and I think he's got very deep insight on consumer side. One colleague from Flipkart who is now working with some other e-commerce company. So I think these are 3-4 set of people whom I meet and constantly learn.
Nice. Okay. That's a lot of things to digest on. I think we'll wrap it up here. Any parting things you want to tell? This is what worked for you across multiple things that you have started, Flipkart category editions, CureFit.
I think one thing I always say that I was lucky to be in Flipkart at the right time. That gave us gave all of us who were working at Flipkart at that time a very big platform.
Hmm.
Post that, I think just being very close to consumers and being very sticky to the consumer insight has helped, and that's how it will be.
So do you pay it forward by giving people opportunity which you got at Flipkart at CureFit?
Absolutely, absolutely. We look at very young people, people who have high intrinsics, and just a lot of intent. So the average age of our team will be pretty young.
Shahi, must. Thank you, boss. Thanks a lot for
Thank
your
you so
time
much, Nilan.
Saturday.
Pleasure.
Say hi to your son for me.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Nilan. See you. Thank you.
Tara, thanks for your time.